now, right, good morning to all of you. When you know it, we are now into October, and while it is a little early for us in my part of the country, it does seem like here in the wonderful state of Flatlands, Texas, we have corn that is ready to be harvested. I noticed that our neighbors also have some corn. I have not checked on the status of that yet, but I just saw our field was ready to go. And so I think that is a mighty good time to get to work. I am not seeing any contracts available, which is a little unfortunate. But I do see that there's a fair bit of fields that just turned out to be ready. Some of them are root crops, others are corn. I am very hopeful that I'll be able to score some of these contracts, but I guess we'll see. It'll be a little while before that actually activates the missions file here. So I'll start with my corn. We'll go from there. I am just getting the combine all set up here, ready to start with the harvest. I'll get a tractor hooked up to the auger wagon and we can get this thing going, and in the meantime I am still going to keep my eyes open, make sure we catch as many contracts as we can, because there's quite a few of them. The tractor and the auger wagon are now in place. The combine is doing its job. Everything is going along pretty smoothly thus far. The barley we planted last time we were in a session there, it looks like it's just starting to get some seedlings come up, and I'm just checking for contracts one more time, and it does not appear so. That is okay. I've got some other chores to do while we wait for the corn to get finished combining. You guys will remember I talked last week about getting rid of the tricycles and maybe a couple other old obsolete things like this wagon here. I think that time has come for us. This wagon is no longer functional for our needs. We do have much bigger equipment, and so I went ahead and loaded up my old tricycles, and I think we're gonna go haul all of this off. I think now is the perfect time to do it. Give us a little extra cash. I got a couple things that I'm really stewing on that I want to purchase for the farm that I think will definitely help, and so a little extra cash flow goes a long way. Well, boys, I think that's the end of the line for you guys. You guys have done me wonderful. I have no complaints as far as the performance goes. There's just time to upgrade because these guys were getting a little too slow and a little too light for the work I was doing, but they never let me down. They fired up each and every time. They're a little worse for wear, for scuffs and scratches, but they'll make another young farmer happy, no doubt. And I don't think that there's any shame in selling off these old units, especially when I can see that they've done us so well for so long. Now, one of those things that I was considering purchasing was this seed tender, because we've been using bags till now, and yes, bags do work, but I'm thinking a seed tender would be mighty handy to put on the flat deck. So, just thinking of that, I'm thinking, maybe, I don't know, a nice red. Oh, look at that. That is kind of gorgeous. This one should really be a bit of a metal color. Beautiful. That almost looks like a Massey color, but that is really nice. I'm thinking of buying 2 of these. I'll mount them to the trailer and to the flat deck, and that should help us to move our seed around and all that, make life a little bit easier. So yeah, let me go purchase 2 of these and then we will go from there. We've got our first combine full, so I'm just going to go and have us a peek and see what it looks like. Funny how the combine's leaving little strips out. I'm a little concerned about that. May have to go back and just kind of trim all that off. I don't like to see it leave out little strips. It's a little worrying, but I can get that later myself. I wonder if that header is almost too small already, because we did bump up the power on the combine a fair bit. Might be that the header is now too small. We could use something a little bit bigger. Well, there you see it, and the auger that's pointing into the other bin, that's not really supposed to be like that. In fact, here, let me show you what happens. We can start that up, and when you flip the auger out, it goes to the side, and it'll unload like that. So what you see right now is not really what's happening. It shouldn't be dumping in. It is simply just there because of the way it's stacked on the truck. But we have 8 skids of seeds here with the yellow, and 8 skids of fertilizer here with the blue. We rented us a little forklift to give us a hand, and we want to get some work done here. And that's exactly what I intend to do. See if I can actually make this happen for us. Well, we seem to have gotten into an interesting predicament. We, for whatever reason, can't reach the top of the fertilizer spreader. Not even with a single one, much less a double. So I think this means we're going to have to use a telehandler, which unfortunately means more rentals. This is not what I had in mind. I was trying to save some money by buying these in bulk, but it appears as though that is not going to be the case. Oh well, that is the life. Okay, I will go and get a telehandler, and then we will go and load it up that way. Be right back. Almost $3,800 later, and we've rented us one of these. You know, that is actually exorbitantly expensive. Because I remember a time when you could rent a telehandler like this for, well, $3,000 a month, pretty much. So this is a little bit of extortion, I would say. That kind of hurts a bit, for being honest. Oh well. Soon enough we'll be getting ourselves one of these, I'm sure. Just not on this day, it seems. Oh, we can't do yeah, let's not do 4 at a time. That's maybe asking a bit much of this little unit here. But here's the hoping this one's gonna have more of an outreach than the other one did, the forklift, because otherwise this is gonna be all for naught. I do believe it should. Already it looks pretty promising. There we are. Okay, let's just get this thing straightened out so we can dump double at a time. There she is. We should be able to lower that right down so it doesn't create quite as much dust. Perfect. Now, all we gotta do is repeat this performance about, 8 more times, and then we should be all done here. But I will not bore you with that. We'll go check on the combine here right shortly. We've got the seed and fertilizer all loaded, and not a minute too soon. Our combine is complaining about being full already. And I do believe that our grain cart is full as well. So we need to bring this back to our yard, and then we need to attend to that combine. Let's go meet you guys over at the yard. Well, I would say that field is probably about 2/3 done already, just based off the look of things. Not that much corn left to go. Still no contracts popping up, which is very concerning. I do need some root crops, so I may have to think of that for next year's harvest. I may have to put some here on this field, a little bit of root crops, just to make sure my pigs have lots to eat, because you don't really want to be buying any pig food either. That's gets very pricey, and when we can do it ourselves, we may as well do it ourselves, right? But let me fire up this combine. I had to dismiss the worker because, well, you know how it is. Didn't want them idling there the whole time. So we'll let them get the auger wagon filled up, and yeah, the dump truck is full too. You'll remember the other tipper wagon is still at the elevator filled with rocks, which is not a good thing, but it is what it is. Oh my. Hey, don't be hitting me now. That was a little wild. But I'm bringing the corn over to our other yard there. We're going to get that all put into a bin somewhere. Sure, I got an empty bin at some point. If not, maybe we'll have to set up a bin. I'm thinking about getting me some fertilizer and seed bins as well. I think that would actually be very beneficial to us instead of always having to rely on all those bags. I think it would help us improve our gameplay, as well as if we could buy it in bulk. I bet it would not be quite as expensive. But truck just keeps rolling. That's kind of funny. What do we got in the bins? This one, barley. Okay. Oats. Wheat. So indeed, we are short on bins. Not to worry. We still got lots of room. I should be able to put one more bin here if need be. But I also have a bit of room in behind here. If I stick their spouts out perfectly to a line here, then I should theoretically be able to load them there too. Unless I just want to go around to the backside, which kind of seems goofy. I'd have to put a lot of gravel down here. But I could do that. I could put them back to back and then put up a nice gravel pad. You know, it's starting to sound like a really good idea, honestly. Why don't we do that? I gave myself a good idea and I like it, so I guess that's what we're doing. Alright, let's see. No, we're not doing landscaping. We're doing silos. Now we'll have to remind ourselves what kind of bins we actually do have, because I honestly don't remember. I believe those would be these 1803s. Yes, those do look proper. Okay, that's what we got right now. So what if we went up 2 sizes? Look at that. Isn't that kind of nice? And we just put them back to back. Would that not be really nice? Boom. Oh, I think this needs to go right about there. And then maybe just one more. That's too far. I think so. Look at that. Now there you got a bin yard. And since we're thinking of it, let's go and get ourselves a little bit of gravel. It's asphalt. We want some gravel. Give us some gravel. There we go. And we can make that a lot bigger. We can also change the cursor shape to make it a circle. Just makes things look a little more realistic. See that? Oh, I want right in between the two. Let's get some gravel up in there. Beautiful. I think that's not even half bad. And yeah, maybe let's put some back over here. I know I'm hitting some of those trees. I am not too worried about those. There, how's that look? Some of the trees gotta come down eventually, but no, that's not bad. I gotta say, I kinda like that. That actually looks really nice. Alright, well, let me go move my auger. And let's go load up some corn. Hopefully my auger reaches the top too. That'll be embarrassing if it doesn't. I'll be right back. Hey, with more riches comes more problems, they always say, and this was a classic example of that. I thought here had the brilliant idea of getting bigger bins because we needed a little more room because of all of the grain we were handling. And what do you know? We have run into the situation where we can't reach it with this auger. Oh, that was poorly thought out. I guess I gotta go get a bigger auger then. And from the look of it, our combine is actually done too. So I'm just gonna squeeze this auger right in here. That way it's kind of tucked out of the way. Beautiful. That is gorgeous, just like that. Alright, off to go get an auger, I guess. It seems like we've been on quite the spending spree as of late. Not so sure I'm happy with that. And wouldn't you know it, this thing actually has to be towed. It cannot be driven. Interesting. Alright, back on the case I go. I gotta get that thing in position before we can start unloading. Now, as just a little test, I want to see if we can unload this without that tractor running. I have a feeling we can. I'm just not entirely sure. Oh, yeah, let's not bash that around. I got a feeling I probably messed up my auger, didn't I? Oh, looks like it's working. Looks like it's loading in the bin. That's a good sign. Let's have us a look. Always good to do a little tightrope walking. If that was a little noisier, I would say this was a very realistic sound. This is more a sound of an auger dumping wheat, not corn. When it's corn, it's terribly noisy. But that actually works really, really well. Quite impressed, to be honest. Okay, right on. So the tractor does not need to be hooked up in order for that to run. Good to know. Well, that should be the last of the corn. There's only one thing left to do, and that is to see how much we've collected from this harvest. 32,900, not a bad haul. We got another 33,900 here. We got 62,000 here, and 56,400 there. That is pretty good. I would say our year is off to a swell start. We obviously won't need all of this for the pigs, but we'll keep stacking it up until we need to make a sale, and then we will be able to sell a lot of grain at a really good price and make some money that way. But the sales are not happening until winter, so till then, I'm gonna say this episode is done, and we will see you guys next time.